Hello.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another session of Island Lost, episode 6. We will get right into this without further ado, as we left you all on a cliffhanger last session. We're going to take you to Oenir, who just watched Kel walk into the fire of Morgul as a ritual was taking place with a large group of salamanders. He 29, and he being the 30th member of their group after Anir had killed one previously in the woods. And now Anir lurks above on the cliffside as she sees this large group of 29 salamanders carry Kel's unconscious body into the volcano through a small opening next to the ritual site. And without further ado, we shall take it away. What does Anir do?
Oenir is there standing, clinging onto some rocky crags on the side of this, or maybe even the top of this great mountain, or in a sort of like a crevice or a valley of some kind, a rocky valley. And there below, she's been peering into this strange circular monolith, kind of like Stonehenge style of construction or a holy place where there was this great bonfire ritual. She's there clinging to the rocks, hidden just behind the some shrubs, some ashen shrubs. Her green cloak slightly flailing in the wind. She is a bobbin she, standing 5'2", weighing just under 125 pounds. Long sort of deer antlers extend from her forehead. Doe ears extend from the sides of her head. Auburn hair, bright green eyes, pale features. She's wrapped in a green cloak as she peers down in sickened horror as to she just saw. This immolation of Kel, and then something happened. Something obviously foul. Obviously, some sort of evil spirit or some kind. In this, at the culmination of the ritual, Kel was brought out, and he looked alive, or at least he looked like he wasn't completely turned to ashes. His hair was still in his head. She kind of gags a bit at the smell. She's about, I would say, 50 feet away. Gotten as close as possible to the for a vantage point view of the ritual. Just about to run in there, just about to attempt to save Kel, but there were too many of them. There were 29 salamanders there, just horrible giant 8 foot tall beasts. And then Kel was taken away, taken to some sort of rocky crevice or some sort of cave, a natural cavern, a yawning cavern somewhere nearby, as he was just taken there. Inea's just looking in horror at that. She's observing all of the salamanders. She's noting where they took Kel, and she's just thinking to herself, "What do I do? Where are they taking him?" She looks down at the various salamanders. Have all the salamanders left the area, or some of them still milling about?
They have literally all entered into this opening with Kel.
In that
Every
case,
last.
yeah, in that case, I'll deftly and quickly and quietly,
Yeah, also,
using
it should be noted though the fires are all still burning. All bonfires are still burning. That they left them burning.
yeah, and it's about night or dusk or evening at this stage.
It is nighttime now. It is
Nighttime.
dark out.
So, with my perfect night vision, I will deftly, quickly, using the aid of my clawed fingers, to uh, carefully climb down from this ledge, from this great cliff ledge, carefully using my skill as a skilled outdoorsman, not to let any loose rocks fall down. And then as soon as I do that, I'm going to also keep an eye out for some sort of hand size, or even slightly larger than hand sized, useful stone boulder, like something like size of a brick. As I will grab a hold of one of those and carry that with me, just in case I need to, as well as
Yeah.
a few other small stones and pebbles for my uses.
You can very well find stones of all shapes and sizes to fit any needs you might have.
Yeah, so I'll be carrying. I don't want to keep slow myself down too much, so I'll be carrying about at least two of those large stones and maybe just a small handful of smaller ones, as I will then carefully shielding. I'll bring my cloak, my green cloak, up to my nose and kind of cover my mouth a little bit as I get close, as I get down to the floor and get close to the bonfires. As just the smell is overpowering. This foul desecration of that which is sacred, of wood, and
And when you get to these bonfires, you also notice there is a group of about 6 stones in a circle, and these stones have runes and what might be words, possibly, but a language you're not familiar with, carved from top to bottom on each of these stones. And in between each of the stones, there is a bonfire raging, and then in the middle of all of these stones, you can see a huge bonfire, the one that Kel walked into. And as you're walking, as you get closer to these stones, the heat is stronger than you might have expected,
yeah,
stronger than a normal fire,
I
and
I
you can
did.
see faces dancing around in the flames. And you see multiple faces, hundreds of faces, 1,000 faces in
Yeah,
these fires.
as soon as
As you,
as soon as I see that, I dart back away from that, into the shadows behind one of the large obelisk like menhirs, these monoliths, uh, like hiding away from those faces. I don't want those faces to see me as I glimpse them, and just I'm utterly terrified of them. I look up the runes, the horrible, hoary runes that have been carved into the rock as they glow, perhaps, or with some sort of power. And I just look at it with just like a sick, dreadful feeling of I don't know, like this some sort of eldritch abomination I'm looking at, and I just feel extremely unsettled by this place. I will attempt to, as quietly as possible, move around the central the circle of stones, trying my best to stay out of sight, not looking at the faces in the flame, as that is just obviously some sort of foul spirit is in there, and maybe I don't know. I avoid that as much as possible, and I will attempt to move towards the entrance of the cave.
if it is any interest to you, there is also a small path leading away from the cave to which the salamanders came from when they were gathering.
Yeah,
Just in case that would be of any interest to you.
yeah, definitely. Um, so I sort of noticed that path leading off. Is it leading off like towards the bottom of the mountain, or up towards higher up in the mountain?
Is leading down the mountain.
Sure.
And I would note that you saw no one leave down that path. They all went inside, but that's just
Yeah.
where they came from.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So, with that, I will carefully approach the entrance to the cave, really being as quiet as possible, with one of the large brick-sized stones in my left hand, um, shielding my eyes away from the blazing inferno fire, just there in the middle of the valley cavern, of the valley, rocky valley. I will start to head inside, but ever so carefully, ever so quietly, following where they took Kel.
As you trail behind, it took you a little bit to get down, and as you were going stealthily and slowly, It took you a little bit, so they have a decent head start on you, so you're able to trail them relatively easily without any requirement for a roll because you're far enough behind. And as you trail behind you, it gets hotter and hotter and hotter as you go in. And I would
Definitely
ask that
starting to
you make
sweat.
me a condition roll at this point for heat, as the heat gets almost unbearable as the further in you go in.
Indeed. Ah, that's a jack to me. So that's a 5 on dice, and let's see, conditioning plus 5, 10. Even with that, that's a 13 total.
All right, you're able to bear it for now, but it is incredibly uncomfortable. You're sweating buckets, and it is getting into the well over 100 degrees in here
Oh
for
wow.
reference.
Yeah, I'll give myself a -1 penalty to everything in this area at least, as that the heat. I've never been anywhere hot in my entire life. This island has been the hottest I've ever been. Uh, the warmest place of the world that I've ever been to, and this is just on another level. I'm actually from a place which is actually pretty cold, so I am not doing well. I'm slightly hazy as I'm moving slowly into this cavern. I'm starting to get a little bit disoriented, like you're dehydrated, even, and I just cursed myself that I left my water skin at home, or in the camp.
And the further you go in, you begin to hear chanting, and what you can recognize at this point as more ghoulish, as you've heard Kel speak it on occasion.
Yeah.
And it's the same language you heard during the ritual. And you while you can't make out what the words mean, you recognize the sound as more ghoulish. And you recognize the voices are the voices of the salamanders that were performing the ritual. And you hear those chants deeper within the cave as it twists and turns. And you keep going and going, following these chanting voices. And then you come out to a point where the cave turns ever so slightly, just enough for you to hide behind and peek around if you wish to do so.
As I hesitate for a second, as I'm there on the bend, about to see what horror is going to be before me in this place of, of desecration. So I tentatively peer over.
As you peer around the corner, you see there is this looks it's a large chamber, and within this chamber you see the stone that you've been walking on this whole time slowly gives way to lava, and across that lava is a stone pathway. It doesn't look man-made, but at the same time it's a perfect bridge, and it leads to a perfect stone circle in the middle of this lake of lava. And within the middle on the stone circle, you see Kel, unconscious body, laid in the center of this lake, with the salamanders gathered around him, chanting. This whole
My
place is difficult to tell if it was carved out by hand or formed naturally.
yeah, and I don't have any grades in Spelunker as well, so this place is completely alien to me. The I definitely just whatever hope I was kind of holding on to for Kel is starting to really now fade away as I see not only is he surrounded by all these salamanders still, not only are they continuing their evil chant, now this sort of liquid fire, this burning smoke and ash and extreme heat is now he's now in the middle of this, and I clutch the stone and I think to myself, I think about trying to cause a distraction, trying to stop, trying to do anything, but there's just nothing I can do here, and starting to feel dizzy from the heat. I take some I turn away and try and cool myself off a little bit. Um, I turn away back from the site for a second as I try to cool off for a second, just trying to gather my thoughts. As I'm starting to get a little bit delirious in this heat. Um, Listening to the chanting, trying to recognize there's some sort of pattern or rhythm to it, or is it just, I don't know.
They do seem to be repeating the same phrase over and over again.
I see. So as they does it sound like as if they are I can roll perception hearing if you want. Does it sound like they are building up to something like a crescendo, or also like some sort of building up to some sort of finale, or is it like very monotone, very level, sort of chanting?
It is very monotone.
Okay,
It's not like a building up. It doesn't sound like they're building up to something. It's just kind of a continuous chant.
sure. So I'll listen to that for a second, and then as like maybe 4 minutes goes by, I'll then peer over again and try and have a look to see if anything has changed or if has anything moved, or is Kel still there? Is Kel still alive? Have they started eating him? You know what's going on?
And as you peer around, Kel will awaken. And as you awaken, Kel, you will open your eyes and you'll feel a heat unlike anything you've ever felt before. It's the hottest place you've ever been by a huge stretch. And around you, you see these salamanders are just encircled you, and you hear them chanting constantly in a monotone voice. They repeat over and over and over again, Morgul, welcome your child. Morgul, welcome your child. Over and over in a monotone chant as you slowly regain your consciousness. What would you do?
As he his eyes kind of flutter open, and the uh the heat finally comes to him, and he rolls over, and then just kind of like, if I'm laying down on top of a stone table, you said.
Yes, you are on stone.
um then yeah, he'll slowly sit up straight, and he'll wipe the sweat from his brow. So he's got that stinging in his eyes right now. Swing his feet up off of the edge of the table, and he'll kind of cast about, see the rest of his fellows, and just kind of smirk. He'll look down at his right hand that he's recently just dipped into the fire, and then he'll see his what once was golden skin has now turned to kind of a wine or dark crimson red, is in that change, that red hue terminates about around his elbow. He'll look down and see some of some of the scarring of a melted flesh, but it amazingly, to his own surprise, it's actually healed up quite nicely. It feels itchy for now, but he kind of smiles despite himself, and he'll actually hop off the table, uh, naked as the day he was born, and thankful that he's not wearing any clothes because he'd be drenched.
And
Say,
he will
well,
now notice he is in the middle. Like right now, he's on a small stone island in the middle of a lake of lava at this point.
he'll look down at his naked self. He'll look back up to the cultists, so let's say the rest of his tribe, across this way, and he'll walk to the edge of his island. Is there like a skipping
There is
stone?
there is a bridge leading towards the island as well,
Oh,
and
okay.
there are small stones that are scattered about as well.
I'll pick my way back over to where what I assume to be what was the high priest that led me in this ritual.
As you begin walking, he will approach you as well.
I'll begin the conversation by saying, "Well, how long was I out?" He's still fascinated by the dark crimson red skin that's now on his hand.
Only half hour. I am Mortoga, Archdruid of Morgul.
Well, is it evening? Is it morning? I've forgotten.
It is still in the night.
Well,
And you would notice also that his name is actually Morgulish for boiling water, which you may or may not find strange. That his name, literally, he's telling you his name is boiling water.
he'll commit that to memory. Yeah, clearly it's odd, but he'll say, "Well, I am Kel. I have no people, and I have no tribe." And he'll look to the other salamanders behind him and say, "Well, I suppose you are my tribe and my people now, eh?"
To find a flame kist on this island was more than we could have ever hoped.
Well, I am not that special, but I am grateful. Thank you.
This is Gorefowl. And he'll point to the guy with dark ebony skin and coal black eyes who he stands 10 feet tall and 14 feet long versus the 8 feet and 12 feet long that is the average of his brothers. He
Who is
is
the salamander that originally
the one
took
that is talking to you. Oh, you mean the one that originally took you here is he's standing off to the side right now. The one who led you into the flame is Mortoga, the one talking to you. He's the one who took your hand and guided you into the flame and everything.
Okay. I'll catch the first one that I met. I'll catch his eye. I'll just nod to him.
He'll nod back, and as he
Yeah, go for it. Sorry.
you see as he introduces you to Gorfall that he walks forward to you, and you'll notice his name literally translate into coal. And you're starting to see a theme between these salamanders as they seem to have very literal names that are named literally after things. Which he wouldn't have seen a culture that does something quite like that before.
Not a very long time. No.
And as he walks forward, Mortoga says, Gorfall is of the blood of giants. We sense,
you too, eh?
we sense your blood as well. He'll look at you with like almost a grim determination. Like he doesn't really. Most of the other people seem a lot more into what's happening than he does. He seems kind of distant ever since you first saw him. Come, Kel Flamekist. As he'll walk back onto he'll try to usher you back onto your island and walk with you side by side. Mortoga will.
I'll follow him, but I'll keep my thoughts silent until we're out of earshot of everybody. I'm assuming
And
once we get to there, we'll be out
yes,
of earshot.
and Gorfall is following you as well, but only you three. A quick note as we jump to Oenir as Kel walks back onto his island. Would you have any reaction to Kel waking up and talking to these people?
Kel looks different than he looked before, right? Did I get that? Did I get that?
Yes, one of his arms is now red.
One of his arms is now
Rafe
red.
describe anything to you.
His right hand from about the middle of his middle finger to His elbow is kind of like now this deep red, deep wine red crimson color. It also has that look of like a third degree burn that's healed, so your skin's a little on the melted side.
I kind of hiss like in sort of like in sort of seeing that disfiguration. Um, yeah. But I see you sort of stand up there, and eyes are a bit watery from the heat and from the. Yeah, I'm about to. I don't know if I'm gonna stay here for very much longer. I'm gonna start to pass out. This place is extremely hot. Um, so I'm just. I see you up. I see you talking, and I think. I feel a wave of relief, but still, like there's still that. I don't know what's going on, and this is some sort of heinous affront to everything that is good and holy in this world. So I'm just looking on in shock and horror. It's a question for the flame
I
tender.
am conversing with these people
Yeah,
rather peacefully.
casually.
I've
Yeah,
been
yeah. I do get that at least. Yeah. So I'm just waiting for them to eat you, but they haven't eaten you yet, and you're just talking to them. So like I'm a bit amazed by it. Question for the flame tender: Is there are there two bridges which lead into this central do you just explain the cavern? So the sort of like an opening sort of
So
chamber, and in the middle there's this dais, this raised dais or this raised circular platform ish, where the altar is. Is there one bridge which leads from the edge of
yes,
the chamber
there
to
is
that?
one bridge.
One
Yes, that
bridge. Okay.
leads from where you are right now because you walk out into the chamber.
Yeah.
There is a good 30 feet of stone. Then a bridge extends from that out about probably 50 feet until it reaches a circular small island that is about 30 feet in diameter. And the whole room itself is huge, though. This is like a literal lake of lava.
Yeah.
And you can see the other side, but there is no bridge on the other side. There is no nothing on the other side. It just goes from your side, which has a decent amount of space, um, to the bridge, to the island, and then the rest is just nothing but lava onward.
Hmm. Yeah. I see that.
Also, the chanting stopped after he woke up.
Yeah. 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 Definitely. So yeah. I'm just gonna be continuing to wait and watch. Like Yeah, there's nothing I can do here. There's absolutely nothing I can do here. Just look on in in horror. Yeah, that's so cool.
And Kel will be led back to his small island where he woke up. And once you get there, you will um once you arrive back near where the altar was, Mortoga will look down at the lava and he'll crouch down on all fours and he'll scoop up a handful of lava and it doesn't phase him at all. He'll just let it run through his fingers as he looks ponderously upon it, and then he'll shake it off like you would shake off water from your hand and stand back up to his full 8 feet and turn to Kel and say, "We need sacrifices. You can help."
Sacrifices. Well, there should be plenty of that back in the village, or those watery, scaly bastards that
You cut out there. I think I can't hear you.
oh, he said there should be plenty of sacrifices back in the village, or he would prefer that the sirens be sacrificed indeed.
He shakes his head as you mention this island. It's like, too long. We have not the time. We
What is
need,
pressing us?
by Morgul's day, the 30th day of the next cycle, we must acquire 30 sacrifices. We have acquired one. The other sacrifices we have acquired have perished due to their weakness and malnourishment. We need strong sacrifices. Sacrifices who will survive until Morgul's holy day.
Well, have you tried the silver mine? Cleaning that out?
We started there, yes, but those who are within are weak, malnourished, suffering from the heat, for their souls are weak and they neglect Morgul's embrace. They perish quickly when taken.
Perhaps you're not sacrificing them quick enough then.
We must wait for the 30th day for the ritual of awakening to take place. He gestures his hand out to the lake of lava before you and says, "This lake is home to Noga Tux Felga Boro."
My eyes go wide at that. Really?
He is Versellen, child of Morgul. And you would know that is, while not traditionally speaking, but the best way I could describe it would be the closest thing would be a dragon, but it's not literally. But that is it doesn't have wings, doesn't have everything you would assume with a dragon from normal fantasy, but that is the closest. That is the within a fire version of a fire dragon, which is essentially a giant salamander.
Yeah, it's the same as a desert dragon in the Conan setting. I get you.
Yeah.
Big monitor lizard. And Kel is actually quite interested in that. Oh, should I call this thing brother or sister?
He sleeps under this lake. This island is his. He created it thousands of cycles ago. This volcano, his home, his lair. And he sleeps. 30 bodies to the fire, 30 bodies to the lava, and he shall awaken, the Prince of Greed, the Righteous Flame, the Lord of Moas. And when he awakens, he shall bring righteous flame to the island, scorching all the unworthy, claiming it for his own again, and we shall reign in a paradise. And you, flame-kissed brother, you are a gift from Morgul. As your connection to this village, as you speak, you have ways to enter without arousing suspicion. We were preparing a raid when we found you. But no, we need not. Now we have you. You can help us.
Interesting. We'll just kind of stand there and look at them both. Not ignoring them, but he's thinking about this entire thing, kind of like weighing it. Oh, now I have to help these people. Give me some time, and I'll come up with a plan for you.
We shall return you to your village to not arouse suspicion any longer.
I would wish to stay so that I am able to know the names of everyone in my tribe, and so that you would know me. Just for a short time.
We may accommodate this.
With that, I suppose, Flame Tender, if you want to fast forward 3 to 6 days.
All right. We'll switch back to Oenir real quick as they begin to leave the chamber with you. And Oenir, you will see this giant horde of salamanders and Kel begin to proceed to exit the chamber, coming straight towards you right now.
Yeah. So I'm about to pass out from the heat. This has Kel is now leaving. Apparently, he's moving. I can't do anything. I'm starting to get. I'm really about to just pass out. So I start to clamber and scramble away, back up the cavern and make my way out. I stop in here and I trying to crane my neck, trying to crane my ears if I can hear the sound of violence, the sound of Kel being eaten. But without hearing that, I will continue to move out, and eventually I'll just break out into a run and then just get out into the fresh air and just try and cool off. And
as you get out into that
cough,
fresh air, it's like in its mid 80s outside, but that is absolutely refreshing to you considering what you were just in. And as you come out and you gasp for air and breathe in the air, the cool breeze coming off the ocean, and you'll still hear those footsteps are starting to get louder and louder behind you. There are only two ways you could go at this point. You might have enough time to scale the cliff again, but it would be very risky. You could go the way that they came from, like when they came up to the ritual site in the first place, or you could run back out into the jungle, or you could possibly attempt to scale the cliff, but there is absolutely no hiding spots out here where you are, for the fires still burn around the obelisk, and there's no way to get to a position behind the obelisk where they couldn't see you because of the fire.
Yeah. I'm going to just so quickly. My instant decision is going to be trying to scale the cliffs and get back to the same hiding spot I was earlier. Even though it's difficult. I'll
make an athletics roll to see if you can get up there fast enough.
All right. All right. Rolling. Man, it's terrible. That's a 4 on dice. Shit. So, athletics. 4 plus 5, 9, and that's gonna be a 10 only. And by the way, plus a minus 1 for being that's a 9 actually. That's a 9 total.
You climb up, and you get about halfway up. You maybe a quarter of the way up even, and you give out from exhaustion, and you fall back down the cliff. Like we half passed out, like you're climbing up, and then all of a sudden you pass out for a split second, and the next thing you know, you're hitting the hard stone. Not enough to cause any serious damage, but enough to really rattle you. Yeah. And as you hit that hard stone, you'll see a salamander's face look down at you as you lay down, looking up at the sky, and he'll lean over and look down at you.
I freeze for a second. What does he do?
He kind of stares at you as slowly you're surrounded by them.
Shit,
and then
more?
Kel, yes, there's more as they come out.
I thought it was just one. As soon as I saw the other one, I'm going to try and just get the fuck out of there.
Kel's not quite out yet because he's coming out on the tail end, so he doesn't see this yet. But
did I hear a body drop?
Probably.
Make a perception roll because people would be talking to you a lot while you're walking. So let's go ahead and make a perception roll. That is your enlightenment.
16.
All right. And yeah, we'll say that you heard a heavy thud outside.
Yeah. Probably some
I'm
of the
gonna
stones I
bolt
was
up
carrying
there.
as well.
I'm basically gonna turn to my fellows and be like, "Oh, wait, hang on a second," and I'm gonna beat cheeks, still naked as the day I was born, down this fucking hallway. So
I mean, if it makes you
I'm.
feel any better, they're all naked as well.
Oh well, I know I'm in fine company. Is what I'm saying.
You joined the nudist coven.
Anir,
Okay. Yep.
make me an acrobatics roll to try to kip up before they can surround you.
Oh, absolutely. Oh god. Okay.
If you make this, you can be gone, but
Yeah.
otherwise they're gonna
I'm not.
circle you.
I'm not
Nope.
gonna make it with a total of a 12.
All right, nope,
Unfortunately.
that is short. You needed a 20.
Yeah.
And they encircle you, but you do get scrambled to your feet just as the last one completes the circle around you. As Morgul encircles Kavega Theo, these fiery faces, these salamanders with these candles stuck to their heads from melted wax surround you. And then Kel will come bursting out of the cavern to see Anir, see through the gaps in the circle. You'll see Anir standing in the circle of roughly 10 salamanders encircling her.
Like a cornered cat, just a furious face, countenance to my face. I'm kind of like drowsy, slightly, kind of like um, swaying side to side slightly. But my claws, my hands, one claw is out. One vicious fucking talon claw exactly is out. The other one's holding a brick, just about to brick somebody. As I'm holding that out and just kind of like almost hissing in as much of a show as possible. But I am this is really bad. And then, go ahead.
Kel will jog up and Dazazaze.
Kel.
He'll say, "Oh." And well, first off, he'll jog up and he'll address the circle, and he says, "Bye, Morgul, leave her be. Back up." And I'll just walk over. About 10 paces away from Anir at this point. I'll switch to Dazazaze, and I'll be like, "All right, dear, put the rock down slowly, please."
My eyes are shifting from these horrible monsters around us and you and him, and it's like, what do you mean? I look really like fucked up, like really about to pass out, kind of like not looking at you straight. I don't have that sort of mental acuity, just like really stressed at the moment. It then takes a second, and then look at you and clutch this brick in my hand, and then it just drops. It does drop, but then however that hand then turns into like a gets spread out into like a claw sort of swipe, as I then look around, still look up at you. What are they going to do with us? What have they done to you?
I'm using my scarred red hand to make the gesture, as in down. So
yeah,
you'll see that before you probably see my face.
I do, yeah, and I see the grimace at that.
You notice most of these salamanders treat Kel with a almost reverence.
Yeah, like they parted for him to make way for him in the circle.
He seems like he's somehow higher in the pecking order than the normal salamander here.
Yeah. So that'll slowly dawn on me. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oenir, just sit. He'll point over to a rock, and the salamanders will get out of the way, so you can actually see a rock. Go sit down. Just don't look at anyone. Just go. I'll switch to more ghoulish and ask one of the salamanders right next to me, like, she's gonna need some water. She's not food. She's a friend. She's not even supposed to be here.
He'll nod to you and scurry off down the cliff to the ocean to go gather up some water.
And I'll walk with her over to this rock. Hopefully, she's actually obliging.
I hesitate, but I do. As I kind of like I try and stay away as much as possible away from any of these beasts as possible. They did attack me earlier this day. They did try to sneak up on me. They are extremely powerful, and these things almost killed me today. So like, I definitely forget that. Definitely haven't forgotten about that. But I do head towards a rock. I don't sit down yet, but I do head towards the side.
As you both head over there, you'll see Mortoga, the arch-druid, will begin approaching the two of you with Gorefall at his side, as he always is. And Mortoga will approach, and he'll look at Kel, and then look at her, and then speak in Aramanian. And
Ooh. Okay.
he will... I don't think Kel speaks that, do you?
He doesn't. He'll but he's aware of it.
He'll speak in Aramanian at Oenir, and she does speak that, correct?
I speak Ajuran, but if you would like, I could roll something to be able to tell if I've heard that before, because I am from a part of the world where some people know that language, and though I don't speak it, I do know it's the sacred tongue of death. So actually, wait. Let me check. I believe it's just Ajuran I speak, but I can roll something. Absolutely.
No roll will be needed because you would have been experienced enough to know he's trying to say something to you in Armanian, and it kind of like will dawn on you. He kind of recognizes you as a creature of darkness at this point. Like he's literally trying to communicate with you through the language of Arman.
Yeah, so I look up, and this is the 10-foot tall, like black salamander.
No, this is the 8-foot tall one. The 10-foot tall black salamander is at his side. Quiet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I shrink back away when I hear those words. I will hide slightly behind Kel when I hear that. And my aggressive posture turns to something like abject, utter fear. You don't live long if you hear that spoken to you, ever. No one has ever in my tribe. So I
promptly get out of the way.
Yeah. With nowhere else to go, I kind of just like, kind of like make myself look as small as non-hostile and non-threatening as possible.
He repeats the same thing he said to you again, kind of seemingly becoming annoyed that you're not responding.
There's a look of like misunderstanding on my face. I don't know. I say in Ajuran. I do not know these words. I say
He'll look to Kel and say in more ghoulish, "Does your friend not speak?"
She speaks, just not that language.
I misunderstand. She is a creature of darkness, is she not?
Yes, but we'll say that this one's tread a bit close to the light, if you know what I mean. She no longer speaks those words.
He'll speak into a different tongue, and this one you can make a roll for to try to understand, if you want, to try to understand if you have ever heard it before.
Sure. Yeah, it's an 8. And then plus 2. 10, 15 on dice. Then what kind of roll would you want it? Speak language or
speak language.
Sure. 15 plus 16. 17.
You both recognize he's speaking in Aramazdian to you now.
Wow.
My ears perk up at that.
Still don't understand what he's saying, but he's basically went from Araman's language to Aramazda's language.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's a look of um, recognition is what I give him.
A
I'm
look of
still
utter
looking
confusion
at.
goes across my face. Like, I can remember or make out like a few words or something, but like nothing otherwise. It's gonna share some language, some sort of similar words with Dazaziz a little bit, but nah.
Kel rolls his eyes. What do you want to say to her? I'll translate.
I wish to ask why she has been hiding. What she wants with our ritual site. And what she has heard.
Kel will translate exactly, but the arch druid is asking in a questioning tone. Kel is translating that accusatorially.
Of course. Um, I look up at you and I say, I was
What
looking for
language do you
you.
respond in, by the way?
This is
Uh,
Dazaziz.
that doesn't say him.
Alright.
I look up at you, Raquel, and I say, I was looking for you. You had left. These things were going to eat you, or so I thought. And then, and I, I don't know what. I do not know this language you speak with them. I don't
You don't know.
understand anything. I was looking for you.
And Kel will take a few moments and say, You do not need to know this language." But kind of a teasing look over his face. Says,
Yeah.
"Oh,
It kind of gets.
you were worried about me?"
Uh,
And he dangerously
I shoot you
chuckles
with glare.
and
I shoot you with glare, but I don't say anything as we got more important things to worry about right now. I still don't know what's going on. So.
of course, I mean, Kel is perfectly comfortable in this situation, not giving a damn
Yeah.
right now if Oenir is like, well, we could be killed in a few moments.
Yeah. I'm so anxious. I'm like trembling.
Yeah.
I'm about to fight to the death, and Kel is just like all relaxed. I'm just like I'm convinced you're stupid. I'm convinced you are stupid. You are a fool. You have some mental disabilities, and that I don't know what I'm doing here right now. I should have ran. I regret many things right
Kel is
now.
he'll turn back to well, actually, first off, just for my notes here, Alan, what is the archdruid's name again?
I will put the Archdruid and his companions' names both into the Roll20 chat. Or I'll put in the Discord chat, I guess, as well. I'll put them in both chats.
Okay, the Mortoga.
And his companion, the black one with the ebony skin and black eyes, that's his name.
Okay. Because I was a shitbird and did not write that down straight away. Thank you, sir. So no, I'll as clearly as Kel starts to chuckle. Of course, my companions are looking at him rather like, "What the hell's going on, dude?" I will translate exactly, and I will add. Well, she was quite worried about me, and she decided to. She thought that you were going to eat me, with a look of on his face.
He'll nod to you and look at her, and then inform her nothing is amiss, and that she may return to where she came.
I'll look back at Anir, and hopefully at this point, the salamander that I have sent off to get her some water comes back with a
Yes, he will be returning with the water.
I'll take it from him, hand it to her, and as I say this, I'll say,
I down all of it.
nothing is amiss. You are free to go. And you
As I
are.
cough, look, what do you mean? You're staying here?
Oh, just for a short time. I need to. There's a long pause. And Kel, kind of. You'll get a very suspicious feeling from Kel. Uh, no idea what's going on in his head, and the gears are definitely turning. I have to tie up a few loose ends here. And he'll just give her a look in the eye that says, "You need to trust me now."
What happened back there? I say quietly. You stepped into the fire. I saw.
Okay. Alan, how does
Yes.
magic work? Because I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to show her.
You would describe how you invoke the ritual you wish to invoke, which your current rituals are mystic auras, and I forget the name exactly, but you can
Flickering
produce
arts, maybe?
fire on your
Arts or something
fingertips.
like that?
Yeah, flickering arts. And if you wish to use it, you describe how you invoke the ritual and subtract a point of zeal.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Just for the scene, Kel, again, she'll ask what's been going on and what she saw. Kel gives her a very serious look, says nothing, and he'll mutter something and then kind of run his thumb over the tips of his four fingers, and he'll hold his red hand out, and a flame, just almost as if he'd poured gasoline into his palm,
Yeah.
ignites in
I
a flame ignites in his palm.
immediately jump back 4 feet at that, and as you hold aloft a face of Morgul in your hand, um, abject horror, and shock and awe on her huge eyes are just staring at this, clearly just absolutely astounded. And then they kind of squint, and she shields her eyes away from the fire, looking up at you. What do you say anything in this moment? Or you just continue to hold?
We're still hearing you.
And then I get an expression on my face, a bit of a tired sort of expression. I look at you, and I say, I my head is starting to hurt. I think you're
Then
right.
you should go. Tell
In
Rockbeak
reference to
that,
what you said earlier today about if you try to figure me out, your head's going to hurt. And I look at you and I say, my head's starting to hurt. Kind of like, hey, like,
he smiles very wide. You're starting to learn, dear. Go home. Tell Rockbeak I'll be along shortly. I have to see to a couple things here.
I came as well. I need to ask you something.
What was that, Jono? You broke up
Sorry.
for a moment.
I came still stepping away from you in your burning hand.
I'll extinguish it at that point. It was just for a few moments.
Yeah. I came because I wanted to ask you something. I wanted
You'll
to
have
make
to
a
ask me later.
deal. It's just I trail off a bit. Clearly overwhelmed. On the inside, I'm seething with anger. Just like, God damn it! Everything is. I can't. There's never time to say it. There's never time to ask. There's never. And once again, another delay. I look a bit dejected at that, and then I then finish off the rest of like this coconut or something of water which was given to me. I just finish that up and just drop it. Looking around at the salamanders, and I slowly nod. I will be back then, or will you join us?
I will come to you. You don't let anyone come after me. I don't. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen here yet. That's why I need to see to a couple of things here. Tie up a few loose ends. You understand?
Are they your? Are they respect you? I see that. They walk
Yes.
before you. Is Are they your friends? Are they your pack?
Not not pack. That would not be the word. I would
Well,
say my tribe.
I'm asking because, well, they. What do they know of the sirens? There are many of them here.
I'm working on that, dear.
I'm
I
not.
need time.
I'll let the others know.
Yes. I'll make sure that this is safe. He'll kind of just kind of like sweep his finger around the village here. We'll
Yeah.
make sure this place is safe for our friends back. He almost says home, but he says back in the village.
Very well. Take care of yourself.
Of course. He'll give
I
her a
look.
sly wink.
I look you up and down, and you're like burnt everywhere, or is it just your arm is really messed up?
It is just my right forearm that is red. The rest of me is fine, healthy, unscarred, as
Really?
golden as you know it.
Wow. Okay. I slowly then back away, edging away from the salamander monsters.
I'm
Before
gonna,
then I.
Alan. I'm gonna walk her to the edge of the village. Is what I'll do.
All right.
So we'll have a bit of a private conversation there.
You're gonna walk her all the way back to the village.
No. To the edge of our village,
All
the
right.
salamanders.
Okay. Okay, so making way down the side of the mountain path.
Yeah, we'll call it that then. Yeah.
Indeed.
All right. And as you walk down, the salamanders do let you go, and more too, they let you go. They let Relia go. I mean, Oenir go. Sorry. At the nod from Watoga, they part. They were blocked. They weren't encircling her anymore. They were blocking the exits, and at his nod, they open and let her leave at your side as you walk down and walk off, and you escort her out. And with that, if there is nothing else, she can proceed to make her journey back to your fellows. Or was there anything else you'd like to say?
I just told Anir that you have a few moments in private to ask me whatever you wish. Ask, and I will answer. We should be well without, I mean, outside of earshot to everyone else.
Yeah. So as we're starting to walk down, she's looking at your arm and just at you still slowly recovering. Now that we're away from the salamanders, she looks far more relaxed. I don't know what to think about what I just saw, but as long as you're okay, I suppose.
Do your people not have magic back home?
We do, but it is not like it is not the chaos of fire. It is of darker things.
Well, apparently.
The same things which that one that in the robe said. I mentioned Mortoga.
Kel just nods. What of him?
He spoke something like what those who are holy or whom were accursed spoke in the forest. You watch out for him. and he's kind. They know words of unmaking. I've never seen it myself, or my family, my pack sisters have always warned me against such, for very good reasons. Horrible things happen to those that displease them.
Of course.
I wanted to ask you something, to make a deal. You asked me a few days ago, 2 days ago, that you needed me to go and find this hunter, or this whatever this creature is that was stealing or kidnapping people in the village. This was for this big scary ogre of the village.
Kel will just smirk and say, "I think they found us."
Yes, well, there was... What? They found us? What do you mean?
Us, you, myself, Da, Rockbeak, Relia.
But didn't you mention that there were others? There was others that were missing, like that. You mentioned the Freyine. We did not. Did the Rockbeak eat a Freyine?
No, he ate a satyr.
I know that, but did he eat a Freyine while I wasn't there?
No, he did not eat a Freyine.
Well then maybe this thing is still around. Regardless.
No, there was.
I kind of look a bit flustered, like. I kind of look a bit flustered, like, oh, god damn it, this like, it kind of fucks up my plan. I look a little bit a little bit annoyed at that, but regardless.
Well,
I've helped you, Kel, and you've helped me. I've helped you
He just smiles. Yeah.
Well, do you forget who it was? Who was the one that was tending to that entire chain? And that is true. I was tending. I was every day. I was like rubbing shit on you and shit. Yeah.
He was trying to be like, oh no, it was not you at all, was it? No.
Yeah,
he's teasing. He's still being a complete bastard about this entire situation.
Yeah, I shoot daggers at you, but
he
no.
just gives you a winning smile.
Shake my head as I look down at the remaining trail. But I need some help as well. Something has happened.
With?
Something has happened when I left that night, when you were eating the satyr.
Oh.
He
kind of furrows his brow.
I saw something. I saw something. Someone
Describe for me what it was.
I kind of pause for a while as we continue walking down. 30 seconds go by. I saw the person, one of the Freyine I killed long ago. She came back to me. And I kind of staring off in a kind of 1,000-yard soul, 1,000-yard stare. And there's no hint of jest or anything on my face. Yes.
Ghost? Spirit? Oh.
I saw it, Kel. And I'm not crazy. And I stop and I stare at you and I just give you a hard stare. I saw it. I know.
I don't think you're crazy at all. Now, this next bit out of Kel's mouth, everything that she knows about Kel, him to be a sarcastic asshole, so that just might be his tone, his regular casual tone. But he'll say, again, casually, is that when in your tribe, your pack, your sisters that you've spoken of in the past, when you kill someone or something, is it a common occurrence that their spirits come back to haunt you? Or is this
no,
like complete Is it normal? Is this not supposed to happen?
It is not normal. When the dead are dead, they are meant to go away. They are to go to the next life, I think. At least that is what I understand of it. It is unnatural for them to appear. But this one did. This one did.
Did go to the next life or come back to you? Is that what you mean?
I don't know. I just saw her, and she was the same. She looked like Relia, even. It was uncanny. It is why I was so scared when I first saw Relia, because she looked so similar. They all do.
Well, Relia is odd, but she's not scary. complete deadpan.
She can speak to things that are not alive. That is...
Yeah, about that. Perhaps you are as haunted by something as Relia is. I've heard her at some length say that she made a friend with a spirit and that follows her. Perhaps this frame that you were set upon so long ago, she come back for vengeance is well.
I kind of
How
stopped.
did you kill her?
Maybe I am haunted. But
What were the circumstances of her death? You're starting to see the warrior scholar that Kel is. There's a side of him that he keeps well hidden.
Yeah. She was the first, or one of the first that I fell upon, that I killed in our raids.
You never forget your first.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Not at all. She bled a lot.
Then I suggest you you sleep with one eye open from now on, just like I am.
That's not the point. I don't sleep, but even though you do, it's different for me, but I understand what you mean. But no, she came to me. The point is this, Kel. Look, I don't have much time. She came to me, and she thanked me.
Tell the poor bitch to bugger off, then.
She thanked me.
And she thanked you for having a go at her.
She thanked me for not killing an animal that I was hunting. She did not come back.
One of his red eyebrows at Oenir.
Listen to me, Kel.
Now I think you're crazy.
Stop, Kel. Listen to me. I stop walking, and I kind of look at you. Kel. She came to me. She seemed to have forgiven me. And then I thought I had seen things. I thought maybe some sort of nightmare had claimed me. I ran into the beach. And then I looked at the sun, and the sun did not burn me. Look at me. Look at my face. You've never seen me like this before.
I know. Your pallor has gotten to take on a bit more of the dawn, we'll say.
Something has happened. I saw something. Something has reached out to me. And I don't know anything about it. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I do know this whatever came to me, whatever healed me of this, whatever shone light in me doesn't want me to hunt anymore. And I look down, I look away. I can't hunt anymore. I can't do it.
And why would you say that? What is stopping you? The sun? The dawn? Why would that stop you from hunting?
She is displeased by it.
Which she? This dead fraying girl that has told you that has forgiven you?
Maybe she is the dead Freying girl. I think so. She looks like it, but she's some sort of spirit. Maybe the same kind or something different than the one that is after you when you're dreaming.
Oh, I am quite certain those two entities are quite different.
Well, then we seem to be surrounded by these spirits, these entities, these gods, whatever they are, these creatures, and we do not know what they want with us. And some of them are hurting us, some of them are attacking us. Dar flew into a rage because of this enforcer god or spirit, and this one came to me last night. I don't know what is going on. This island is full of spirits. It's full of these horrible creatures, these monsters, and I'm just trying to find out how to survive, how to live, how to get us off this isle.
Kel, for a few moments, he smiled, and this might actually be unsettling. He smiles as he finds that calm, that same calm that gives him his ataraxia when he looks into the ocean. This turmoil that they've been going through, he finally kind of finds that Tao, that emptiness, that silence. You are right. This place reeks of the spirit world, and we need to leave.
And I want to. Obviously, I'm here to help and to get us off this isle, but I stop, and now I look really pained. But I need some help to survive, Kel. Which brings me to my proposition, my trade deal. Yes.
This entity might not want you to hunt things, but perhaps you need a change in game, we'll say. He'll kind of he'll shoot her a sly wink.
I cock my head to the side. I give you a questioning look. A change of game. What do you mean?
Yes. Other things to hunt. Hunt the correct things.
You don't understand. It's just. I'm not talking about that. It's defending myself. Yes, of course, that is. But there's the difference between defending oneself, and then there is stalking and hunting and killing it. There's a difference, and that's the latter.
Are you certain that there is a difference?
Yes.
Because there is black and white on this island.
There is a difference. There is a big difference, and I've been waiting for a time to ask you because I know perhaps maybe you could help. I don't know how much you know of me. I don't know how much you know of me, but I
know enough for now.
I do not eat like you. And then I kind of...
I know you don't.
Extend my hand out to show you. I am different.
I take a look at your claws and nod.
I sometimes need to drink, and sometimes when I chew on things, it's just out of habit, I guess. But it's not my food.
He kind of like motions with his hand. Go on.
I need life to eat. I eat life. I eat the living.
Yes.
And if I cannot hunt anymore, which I have been doing for a while,
you'll starve to death.
I will die.
Well, then we will have to find a way and find something for you to hunt then, now won't we?
I cannot hunt. And I say sadly, like completely, utterly destroyed, kind of look on my face, like I cannot hunt. And
Kel will, he'll kind of look at her a little frustrated.
I wanted to ask you this. And I say, looking up at you. I would need something from you every second day. Every second day, I would eat of you. And in exchange, I would do whatever you need me to do in terms of, I don't know, find something, look for someone, defend you, protect you, look, I don't know, whatever you need me to do, I'll do it. I'll find this, you asked me to find this, whatever was hunting the villagers for the big scary ogre. I can do that.
We've been over that already. We've already found the individuals. He'll motion back to the village on the mountain. We've already found the salamanders. Come on, it's obvious.
It's them.
It's them who has been kidnapping the slaves.
Okay. Well then, whatever else you need, if you need, whatever. I'm only asking you because I know that you're different. Like I said, like I don't know what you are, and my head is starting to hurt thinking about what you are. But I know that you are somewhere,
I'm not
somewhere,
entirely
Freyin.
afraid.
I know that, but you are still partly, if not even a bit. I don't know. There's some way I can tell, but I cannot explain it. But still.
I have a task for you then.
Yes?
I need 30 people. Preferably criminals, the useless kind that are, well, healthy enough. He shoots a look back up the path with a, and Oenir will get this feeling. He has a wicked, evil fucking smile on his face.
Yeah.
There's more darkness in that smile than you have seen in a very long time, or ever on Kel, actually. I need 30 healthy individuals. Preferably 30. The useless and criminal kind. The kind that no one would miss. You understand.
I think I do. Like satyrs, right?
A smile of mirth comes across his face. He is actually, you know what, preferably satyrs, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, he'll actually smile and shoot her a look. That was actually a really good joke, thank you. Yeah. Can you find 30 satyrs? He's going with it now. Why don't you have a nibble on the satyrs while we're at it? So, heck, they're well, somewhat good looking.
It's shaky. It's difficult. It's if someone, I'm asking you, maybe. So you say you're fine with this. You agree?
I am not fine with this. I am not food. I am your friend, but you cannot ask this of me.
I sort of pause for a long moment as you say that. And then I start to shake my head. And for the first time in a very long time, there's actually a little bit of even kind of laughter, even a smile on my face, as I begin to kind of even laugh. You've probably heard me laugh twice this for the past like 20 days, even, or even like 30 days that you've known me on the vessel and on the island. I kind of just laugh a little bit.
Kale will cross his arms over his chest. Oenir, you are rather beautiful when you smile. You should do that more often. It's good for you.
Why?
Why
would I ask? Yes, that's right. That's you know, Kel. maybe you're not so stupid after all. Maybe I was wrong about that as well.
You're wrong about a great many things in regards to me.
Yes, I kind of look up, kind of smiling still, but maybe you're not so stupid. Maybe just a little, but maybe you are learning. Of course, don't worry.
Again, he'll cock an eyebrow. I'm learning? I have had this entire situation under control. You are the one who came after me, and this is when Kel's ire has been invoked. You came after me thinking I needed to be saved when I did not. I am still alive, and you were the one who almost died up there. I could have, with just a handful of words, had them throw you in that volcano in there. But I did not, because you are my friend. I am not stupid, Oenir. You are just
Well.
untrusting and ignorant of this situation.
Kel, I came after you because we need to get off this island together, and I need your help.
I'm working on that.
So am I. We are all working on it. And I followed you because I did not know where they were taking you. And that's that.
You were worried about me. Do not lie.
Of course I was worried about you.
Oh, I'm so touched.
What are you talking about? I need your help, and I needed to ask you this. And you've given your answer, and it's... I've asked already. The answer is no, you said. It's fine. It's fine. It's a smart decision. It's... You listen. You do listen, and that's good.
I am listening.
No, you've already listened. That night when I was there with you on the beach, I told you to stay away from monsters like me, and... You're listening. That's good. I kind of look away.
Do you remember that I said the same thing to you?
Yes. Maybe I don't listen so well. Or maybe I don't care to. I don't know.
Atta girl. And we are equally stupid, aren't we?
You say that you could have thrown me into the volcano. Yes, you could have killed me. I could have killed you that night as well. I could have killed you that night when you came after me in the forest. But I didn't. I suppose then we were both trustworthy. I suppose then I can trust you, just like you can trust me. You don't know what I'm like, Kel. You don't know my people. You don't know my family, my aunt, what our ways are. If only you knew. But you don't have to worry about that. I'm not going to hurt you.
I've heard stories, but you're the first one of your kind that I've ever seen.
Yes.
You're correct about that.
Yes. And if I was like my aunt... if I was my aunt...
You would have had a go at me a long time ago.
If I was my aunt, I would be wearing the one that you were with earlier. Theta, her name? Something like that.
Yes.
I would be wearing her face and then... fucking you into the earth. In the pool of your blood. It's a fun game that people used to play.
Anything like you.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you.
I kind of shake and laugh. Kind of shake my head slightly, laughing.
Is there peace between us now, huh?
Of course. Kind of give you a stupid look, like, of course.
Good. Rockbeak wants to. He wants to join the enforcers, the guards down there, and hopes to possibly smuggle our way back into our gear, our possessions. Last I checked, it's been a few days. I haven't been able to speak to him for obvious reasons.
Those were the things you had on the ship, right? Those things?
Yes, my kopesh, my daggers.
I think I remember. If I see them, I'll try and get them, or I'll keep an eye out for them. Yes.
I am gonna see if I can get these salamanders to help. They will, if I can get those 30 individuals. That's gonna be the linchpin in them helping us get off the island. Right now, that is my number one objective. And I really don't want them coming down into the village to hack everyone to death and throw their sacrifices into that lake.
It would
I'm
be a waste of
assuming,
life. It would be a
of
waste of
course.
life, as if these salamanders are your, I don't know, you say they're not your pack, if they are your, I don't know the word, friends, and if the villagers, if you wish to get the villagers on your side or our side to fight the silence or to escape, then all there'll be is just more death, and there wouldn't be enough people to fight the silence. Maybe, I don't know.
We're
Yes,
going
I
to
would
need
try.
to join forces and take care of the sirens.
We have to try and deal with the big scary ogre.
Oh, he stands but tall. I'll get him in his sleep if he's still alive.
Yes.
Or you can have at him if you beat him to me. Well, bragging rights.
I know ogres. If he is stupid and maybe have drunk something and fallen asleep to the street, then maybe, but otherwise. Oh, I need to head off. I need to get some
Yes, I
sleep.
think you better head. I'll see you in a few days.
I'll see you later, Kel.
She'll take a few steps down the road, and Kel will call after her and say, Oenir,
I stop and turn.
we are friends now. And he'll just say nothing.
I nod.
He'll
nod
turn and go
back.
back to the Salamander Village.
I'll definitely watch you as you leave, as you turn and leave up the mountain.
Hey, perv, watch my ass as I go up the trail.
Absolutely,
I
man.
see how you are.
Absolutely, man. Three
I
Grey's
gotta give
attractive, man. Absolutely, man.
you All right, I think we're done with that scene, Alan. Sorry about that.
You're all tanned up and shit as well. Alright, done.
All right. We will go back to Rockbeak, Relia, and Da, the speaking tree, as
Sup, bitches?
the next day, the day of rats. After this whole encounter, Relia has awakened. Rockbeak has established his dominance over the village, and Daw's wounds have seemingly miraculously disappeared. And we will take us into the scene as the three of you are gathered in what has become essentially Rockbeak's war chamber, a large stone throne that he sits upon, sized for an ogre, with a large stone table filled with every kind of meat that they could afford to find on this island, from boar to strange birds to even fintu, should he desire it. And he has not dismissed her yet, as a human female stands next to him, named Bess, who has no last name. She is of no tribe. She has long, wavy brown hair and pale skin, and a scar over her left eye. As she stands at Rockbeak's side, as she stood loyally at Alwick's side before, as the right hand of the chieftain of the island. Take it away, Rockbeak. What do you say to your people that are gathered, your council, as they are gathered before you, as you begin to prepare, making real decrees after making sure your friends have been tended to?
Well, you see Rockbeak sitting upon this massive throne, way too big for him. He looks pretty bad. He's seen better days. Not only is his shell covered with iron plates that have been riveted into it, also across his chest, arms, and his whole body basically has been riveted with iron chests or iron plates that after his gruesome battle. with Arwick that he barely escaped, only in due part thanks to his friends. He looks more metal than Chthon, as even some of his cheek, his neck, it's iron plates riveted on him. The 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 marks are still fresh upon him. The salves and ointments that have been applied to him seem to be healing, but it will take a long time to get rid of the scars, physical and emotional scars that he has dealt with. As he leans forward, is still getting used to the iron plate that has been placed on the right side of his lower jawline. Uh, almost part of his beak was almost taken off. He opens his beak and kind of stretches it a little bit, winces from the pain. He can't open it too much. Well, I glad to see everyone's here in one piece. Really, are you looking good? I mean, you're awake. That's something. You look like a fucking tree, so that's good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we did it. We control the village now and the islands. Now we got a plan for these fucking sirens to come back. So we need to start training the troops. We need to start consolidating resources and whatnot. We got to make sure that when they come here, it's going to be the last visit they're going to pay to this island. So,
For the FT real quick. How's my healing doing? It says it's been only a day. Is my arm still unusable?
You would have 2 health right now, and yes, your arm is still crippled.
Alright.
I mean,
Ooh.
hey, we're alive, right? You're good with farming, right? You can farm stuff.
I can provide food for an army.
All right, buddy. When not everybody in the army is gonna be eating twigs and leaves and whatnot, but I understand where you're coming from. I was understood. It was told to me that there's a farmer around here. There's supposed to be a head farmer for the people. I want you to meet up with him and see what you can do about the crops and all that. We need more food. Think you can do that, buddy?
Cool. And Da's gonna, because his friend has come into power, and he is nothing if he's not a respectful person of tradition. He will bow deeply to Rocky.
Hey, what the hell? I thought you were healing. What the hell's wrong with you? Got a crick in your back? You ain't got to call for that.
Slowly gets back up and makes looks to the strange creature next to Rockbeak with the scar, what he assumes is a scar, and with long hair, and asks her, who leads the farm?
What language will he ask that in?
Probably in Dazazian, which is what we've been speaking. He'll try that first.
She'll respond to him. Bandor. He is the head farmer, a satyr. He runs the large plantation.
Can take me to him.
She kind of glances at Rockbeak.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he don't know how to get there. Go ahead and show him.
Walks out and motions, follow me.
I'm gonna look back at my 2 friends and just was like, are you being going out of character voice again for a second? Are you being healed? Are you being cared for?
Yeah, we got it. We got it taken care of. We got people, with the salves and whatnot. Now it just takes time. We can't heal like a tree does.
Uh,
At this
back
moment,
in
I'm sort of
here,
like taking
say,
a seat, by the way, and kind of have like shallow breaths because like hurts to breathe. So because my ribs being basically broken too. So I mean, I'm kind of in a bad state right now, but I'm listening to everything.
when I get back, I will heal and help.
Oh, I know, buddy. Just go and make sure that the crops are good, and try not to piss off the guy too much. I mean, we're trying to work together here, but we need those crops. So
Hmm.
work your magic on them.
He's gonna look a little bit confused about that, and then kind of nod slowly and just say, "That's a good idea," and then just walk off.
Robbie kind of looks at him like, what do you mean a good idea? Oh, the magic. He's like, he was just using it as a form. He wasn't actually being literal, but Robbie's like, okay, whatever, that'll work. That's fine. So,
And he's gonna follow the hero.
how you doing over there, kid? You look pretty fucked up. Look at it really, yeah.
I think that it would be best for me to maybe get some fresh air if possible.
I mean, you can walk outside. I mean, nobody's gonna stop you, but I mean, right now it's just gonna take time for us to be back to our full faculties. But while you're out there taking a walk, maybe you can survey, the people we got here. You know, fighters wise. I mean, the way you were grabbing swords and whatnot, maybe you were in the military or something. I don't know. Maybe you can take inventory on them. Make sure everybody is, we got all our trained fighters in one group, and then we can train the rest of them. I don't know. Just to have a look about.
Oh, I'll try. I kind of slowly pull myself up and.
I mean, if you need help, I mean, somebody could help you. I mean, he just like calls over, like, "Hey, somebody, come over there and help us." You can't walk hardly.
I think I'm fine.
Are you sure? I mean, these guys kind of owe us. We kind of saved them. So, I mean, if you need help walking, I mean, that's the least they could do.
I slightly shake my head no. Begin to walk out.
Don't be too hard on them out there.
As she walks out, one of your a satyr who is one of the previous enforcers. You haven't had time to really restructure anything, so right now people are kind of confused and just going
Is
with
this
the
the
status
same
quo that
satyr
was
that's
before.
in the house, but that's all like with the moat and everything? With like, okay, yeah. Hey, I remember you.
He'll come in and say, "Yeah, boss. We got I don't know if you know or not, but there's a Fita outside asking to see you."
Oh yeah, that's Kale's mate there. Yeah, send her in. Hey, and while you're at it, make sure that the enforcers know that everybody's equal here now. We're all free, and we ain't killing each other. So yeah, make sure you get all the enforcers on the same level here, okay? I don't want nobody beating everybody up in the street and whatnot. We need them strong so we can get out this fucking island.
"Yeah, boss." And he'll walk out, and as he leaves, Fita will barge in, like almost pushing him over, and like she looks very upset, and she's like, "Rockbeak,
Yeah, he just takes a,
Kel is going to be very upset with you.
why is that?
You're overstepping your bounds here, taking lead like this.
What bound you talking about?
Where is he?"
Oh, Kel? He had some friends and they went off down into the jungle down there. He'll be back soon.
What do you mean went down to the jungle?
Alright, well listen here. He found some friends and they were talking about him like he's something special and all that, so he's gonna go off with his friends.
What friends?
Don't worry about it. The giant salamanders. Big old giant
You just let
salamanders.
him get carried away by monsters in the woods?
Hey, I'm not his babysitter, and first off, he wanted to go, and, well, no, that would be second off. Anyways, the thing is, he's gone, and there's nothing I can do to
We
stop him.
have to go after him.
No, we don't. Near's already went off after him. If he's alright, I'm sure she found him.
She kinda
Everything's
looks
fine.
at you. When you say that, she kind of like seems odd. It's like, who is he?
Oh, by Reshiva's holy tit. Okay, listen here. Let's just say that everything's under control. Don't worry about it. I'm sure he'll come back and do the mating thing with you whenever he comes back. But for now, we gotta get these people into fighting shape before the fucking sirens come back. I mean, you want off this island, don't you?
I'm going out for him.
Oh,
You're telling me you sent 2 fraying men out into the jungle? I have
I
to go
didn't
help.
say that. I sent one freeing man and then somebody else out there. It's, you're gonna die out there. Don't do
I
it.
have. She like screams at you. She's walking out. It's like, I have to save him. He's my charge.
He don't need saving. And what are you, his nanny? Oh.
Look,
by
she
the
turns
gods.
back to you with like a glare, like a sharp glare. It's like, I am his lover.
Yeah, well, about that. Anyways, it's gonna get you in trouble. I'm telling you, he's fine. He can handle himself.
She storms out, not listening to you.
Chthon women weren't like this. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Those rock people just sit back, basically just lay back in his throne, and kind of close his eyes, and he will drift into a daydream, and it will take him to a place that is in the underdark, in the underground, the underworld. He is back. He is back in the clan, the tribe that he was in. He's a much younger Chthon. Much younger. He has 2 eyes. He has no scars on his body. He is a baby, essentially. And he will see the other tribesmen just gathered in the breeding pool as the chieftain of the clan will make the declaration. Like, yes, it is time for the breeding again. The females will lay their eggs and pick their mates. Well, they will pick them. So everyone just stand up and get in line, and we'll get this show on the road. And Rockbeak will linger towards the back and loiter towards the back of the line there. And he'll just see female after female lay their eggs and then pick the one they want to fertilize. And then it just goes on, and yet again, as has happened in so many cycles before, Rockbeak has been left out. No one has picked him. The other males who have finished fertilizing the eggs come back and mock him and throw dirt and mud at him, call him an abomination. The women won't go nowhere near him. He has witnessed this. He's felt this many times before, but he thought this time would be different. He held on to hope, but yet again, it's just the same as it always was. And then we'll see him walk off and start throwing some stones into a small underground pond. And then it will flash forward sometime later as a group of young Kalfar men enter the tribe ground.
Wait, 1 second. He throws the small rocks into a pond and then fertilizes them.
That's how Chthon do it. They all get in this big pond, they lay the eggs, and then they pick the male that they want to start fertilizing, and then they go in there and start jacking off all the eggs.
But then, like, yeah, he gets the rock and does it himself.
No, he doesn't throw it in that pond. No, he doesn't throw it in that one. He throws it in another one. No, he'd be fucking torn apart if he starts throwing rocks at the fucking babies.
Sorry, we just thought it was
So you fast forward a little bit. You're not sure how long from now, and Rockbeak is just going about his duties, carrying things and whatnot. Um, and then a group of young Kalfar men come from the direction of Jolf. Yes, we have seen many slavers come here from time to time, and we know that when the Kalfar come, it's not good. And these Kalfar men come. They approach the chieftain. It's like, yeah, we need some slaves for some sport. So we want some of your, you know, your good ones, the healthy ones, men preferably. We're gonna pit them in the gladiatorial arena. And they, uh, well, you see, I mean, we, I mean, he's like, what are what are you saying to me? Huh? You saying no to me? And he reaches up, backhands the chieftain, and he's like, I don't believe. I asked. I said, bring us your strongest people. Bring them up in a line. We're gonna take them. And he's like, yes, of course, my lord, of course. As he goes about getting the strongest males in the tribe and lines them up, the young Kalfar man is inspecting them, and off in his side vision, he sees this monstrosity, this rock beak over there, this deformed Chthon milling about, moving baskets full of food and moving rocks. Hey, that one over there, he looks like a big freak. He could probably mess somebody up. And he's like, oh, no, that's Torgon. He is a no, he is an outcast. We should have killed him, honestly, but he does good work. Yeah, we want him too. He's like, no, I assure you, my lord, he's not. Do I need to teach you the lesson again, old man? No, of course not. Torgon, over here now. As Rockbeak lifts up his head and he sets down the basket he was carrying, and as he waddles over to them, the Kalfar man looks him up and down. Like, yes, he's an ugly thing, isn't he? Yes, he'll do just fine. And he's like, hey, what's this all about here, chieftain? I don't know what's going on. Like, hush, Torgon. You're theirs now. And like, well, I ain't nobody's. I'm myself. I said, quiet, Torgon. It's like, yeah, listen to the old man there. All right, everyone, in line. As they start lining up, they start placing iron shackles on their feet and their hands in sort of a chain gang. As they get to Rockbeak, he's like, hey, I ain't agree to this. And they pull out a small club, and they beat him over the head with it. And he's like, I didn't ask you to speak, did I? And he's like, hey, you want to try that again? Oh! And they hit him again. They keep beating him until the fight's out of him. They shackle him up, and they force him to march. And they march and march, which seems like forever, as they return to the city of Jolf, as they're shown into their slave pens where they will stay with the others. There's mostly Chthons here, but there's an assortment of all other races here too. As Rockbeak gets shoved in there, teetering on the edge of consciousness. Sweet unconsciousness takes him, only for him to be awoken to the sounds of his slavers coming back. They're taking more people to the gladiatorial combat. This time, though, there is a framed female in the corner. After they take out the fighters, the lead Kalfar goes in, and he said, yes, well, I'm in need of new pleasure slaves. You might do. As the girl, too weak from hunger to fight back, tries to faintly and very badly put up a fight, he just grabs her by the hand and begins dragging her towards the exit. Rockbeak becomes infuriated. He gets up and he charges the Kalfar. Tries to bite at his throat. As he gets within feet of him, the chain that is collared around his neck pulls back as he falls back onto his shell, kicking. He's unable to get up, and he's like, "Oh, oh!" He drops to Freying as a Kalfar comes over him. "Oh, you were gonna save this girl, huh? You were gonna do something? Then why don't you do something now?" He begins kicking him in the chest, kicking him in his face over and over again. He's like, "Yeah, why don't you take this collar off and we'll see how tough you are." As he begins beating him again. And he's like, "You know, you are more trouble than you're worth. This is the third time you've tried to do something against us, and I don't like this rebellious streak. You know, I should just kill you now." As he pulls out an iron dagger from his belt. He's like, "Yeah, I think I'll just kill you now." As he slowly puts the dagger across Rockbeak's throat, he says, No, I won't kill you. No, but I will do this." As he jabs the dagger into Rockbeak's eye. Rockbeak lets out a massive scream as he digs and twists and pulls out Rockbeak's eye. Blood and viscera dangling from his dagger as his eye is impaled upon this iron dagger. Rockbeak futilely trying to cover his eyes, like, "Yes, there we go. Now, I think we'll take you back to your village. And this time, they'll know not to send us defunct slaves. This is a warning, because we're going to do a lot worse next time." And he just motions to other guards there as they begin dragging Rockbeak out. And just before he loses consciousness, he sees this Kalfar drag this Freying woman out. And then Rockbeak opens his eyes as he's sitting on his throne. And he's like, "Yeah, I got a lot of work to do. A lot of work." As he gets off his throne and begins walking out.
And then we shall cut to Relia. You are out examining the soldiers, yes?
Yes.
Alright, the enforcers had been gathered up for you in they are all horribly undisciplined. They are slouching, they have makeshift arms and armor. Some of them have iron, some have copper. There's no uniform weaponry, no uniform quality. It's all salvaged from shipwrecks. It's terrible. You, however, were able to take your pick, thanks to Rockbeak, from the armory of your preferred weapon, armor, anything you like. So you are as well equipped as you could hope to be. There are no masterwork weapons or armors or anything like that in the armory. No one has been so fortunate to acquire such an item of prestige on this island. But you have a sword, and if you wish, up to a studded leather jerkin is the heaviest armor they had. So anywhere between quilted and studded leather, as well as most normal swords and light blades, are available to you. And these soldiers are varied in that they are a mix of Freying women, satyrs, and ogres make up the vast majority of them. There are a few oddities amongst them, such as a few Dawan, which are the anthropomorphic tigers, and the odd human here or there. And they gather in front of you, roughly 50 of them, that essentially worked as a street gang prior to Rockbeak taking out their leader. They are all very low morale, and they sit before you, waiting for your judgment to be passed upon them. What do you say or do to them?
How a culted jerkin, by the way, would be the armor that I chose. It. But so I'm slowly kind of walking around, expecting them, because I'm so injured, it's a little difficult, but to get around. But did I notice anyone who seems like they look out of place or look like they are maybe scared at the moment?
No, no one really looks like they haven't seen combat before. They do appear that they're undisciplined, but not inexperienced. They're not soldiers, but they're ruffians and scoundrels and pirates and the like. They're people who have fought most of their lives, just they fought very unorthodox battles. They're not used to forming battlefield formations and listening to orders of a commander. They're used to dirty barroom brawls and back alley shankings.
I'm just expecting them, and I'll be doing something to gauge their get a feel for how their overall outlook is. So I take a long moment to just inspect them, not saying anything, and then I'll stop, sort of like in the middle of like in the center of the mass of close to the center I could be to all of them, and say, "Who here would you say is the strongest?"
As you say that, literally a good 10 ogres step forward, all believing themselves to be wonderful.
I only asked for one, yet there's 10 of you. What makes each of you think that you're better than the other?
They'll start bickering and arguing amongst themselves and be like, one of them like, well, yeah, I was able to carry 2 boars by myself back to the village, no problem. Another one's like, that's nothing. Is I wrestled a boar with my bare hands and crushed a skull. Another one's like, yeah, well, I was able to uproot a tree and use it as a club. And then they'll all just like be like extremely boastful, along those lines. And then just like start like arguing with each other and breaking down to argument. And she can basically tell it looks like it's about to evolve into a brawl soon.
I'm just just looking at this. Um, it's not exactly very amusing to me, seeing how I know how this could turn out to be very bloody. But I've just witnessed with the head ogre here last, so I know how these things can turn out with ogres. But
Well, the important thing here is we're all we have. All we have is each other on this island, and even if one of you are stronger than the others, then my reasoning of asking was mostly to see who could help me teach the best. For we should all have equal understanding, or as good as one can, of combat. We'll need everything that we can muster to stand a chance against our oppressors.
Make me a diplomacy roll. To see.
no. Okay. Um. I assume that they're probably not even gonna even hear me. Probably the roll, but that's a nice juicy 2. Yep. Then
All right, as you speak, your impassioned words fall on deaf ears as a brawl ensues between these ogres, and the other people start to scatter as they want to get away from this fight that's going on. As this just is like a ballroom blitz going on, a battle royale, if you will, of ogres, bodies and fists flying. As the rest of the enforcers scatter, not wanting to get involved with this massive meat that's getting slung around, displaying their horrible discipline and making her know well that if should battle come, they will scatter at the first sign of the odds not being in their favor.
I'm gonna take a few steps back and kind of just watch. Yeah, I kind of try to a few desperate pleas of between the noises of the ogre's brutality and between my shallow voice I have to have with my injuries. I don't really get much out, but
One of the ogres will like literally bite another one's ear off, and then like somebody like gets picked up and power bombed through a cart, and just literally just chaos.
I'll watch and call out a few times, but then I'll sort of just slowly begin walking back to Rockbeak while this is going on. As the things fly around me, I'll just slowly just sort of limp back in there, Rockbeak.
And then we will switch to Daw, the speaking tree, as he hopefully performs his task better.
Seemingly unfazed by all this, mostly, by the way, while doing this.
And he'll be going, and led by Bess, it takes him a good hour to get to the farms with a slow walk. It is.
On the way, I would like to just attempt to start up a conversation with this human.
All right, go ahead.
Just like I don't want to do that much RP because don't want to take up too much time because I'm going to be talking to the farmhand as well. But I just want to roll diplomacy, and if you can give me some facts about her, is that okay?
Go ahead.
And it makes it quicker for everybody. Oh, the green dice. Oh, nice. Here we go. Ah, I thought it was a double ones for a second. No, it's a 7 and a 1. Am I? Oh yeah, but I'm not trained in diplomacy at all. So that's a 0.
Yeah, like as you're walking, as you're going there, your words are taking so long to get out that by the time you're finished with your sentence, she forgot what the words at the beginning of your sentence were. And
even better, I was speaking in Draxa the whole time. She doesn't speak it.
Then she's just overall like the whole point of it is you lose her interest very quickly, and she keeps marching along and just takes you there, and then drops you off and leaves you, and just starts going away, just leaves you, doesn't even stick around to show you, to point you to the head of the farm or anything, just shows you like here's the farm and then leaves.
That's fair. All right. Off to a good start with diplomacy this game. All right, okay, so off we go. I'm gonna walk around the farm. Can I roll a farming roll to just see how decent this place looks in terms of the...
Yeah, go ahead. It is the biggest farm in the village, so that's something to its credit.
And with a farming roll, what exactly are they growing here as well? So it's a 7 on dice total. I have a forte in growing plants with farmer. Would that apply here?
Yes.
Okay. So that is a 7 plus a 7, so 14 plus a 5, so it's a 19.
All right.
19.
You would see that the farm is doing decent. It's doing pretty well, all things considered. The soil seems to be very fertile and rich. The climate is very warm, so it's not super accommodating to. It's a tropical climate basically. It's not the most accommodating in the world to of a wide variety of crops, but it does the crops that are, and the crops that are here are mostly crops that have been salvaged from the wild plants that grow in the jungles, and they do have
I'm guessing a lot of like fleshy vegetables and like fleshy fruits, things that survive in warm temperatures.
The main problem that the farm is suffering from is lack of space more than anything else. It is you can tell that they've tried to clear some trees out, and you can actually see a few people who are trying to hack away at the trees. And as you've noticed with Rockbeak way back in session 1, and you've noticed as you've been studying the trees of this island, these trees are extremely resilient, and these farmers are just hacking away at them, and you tell it takes them an incredibly long time to make progress, and the yield of the farm suffers greatly for it because they're having to clear out the brush, they're having to clear out the trees, they're having to, inch by inch expand the farm slowly and slowly and slowly. But what they do have is growing very well.
I see.
It's just not a lot of it.
That's good to hear. Are there any how's the watering system like? Have they gotten like a little aqueduct up and going? Is there a water wheel at all? Are they how much of it is self-sustaining in terms of just like making sure that everything is looked after?
They they have irrigation, like they have and it's not like really a super effective aqueduct or anything like that. They're for the most part they have a large water supply nearby the farm that they haul water to, that they don't have like any real infrastructure leading anywhere. They just have a supply of water that they have made nearby the farm. There's not any large body of water nearby, even though, as previously described, all water is fresh water in Kvegathale. The village itself is so far from the ocean that it would be difficult for this shanty town to construct the infrastructure needed to have truly efficient farming.
Makes sense. So I'm going to walk through the fields. I'm going to be still holding my staff, but I'm going to be using my racial ability to see through the plants that I, walk past and brush my fingertips against, and then just look down into the darkness, into their roots, into the and just see how good is the soil? How sturdy is it? Are they going through rock?
No, the soil is wonderful. It is extremely rich and extremely fertile.
No dead bodies down there?
No dead bodies buried under the farm.
All right, okay.
As you're walking around, though, and you're touching the plants and stuff like that, you'll notice a satyr approaches you.
I'm going to pretend I don't see him and wait till he talks to me before I start to turn around.
You see it's like a wild, untamed black hair with large gray eyes and a large bushy beard. And he approaches you. He's shirtless, and he has some leather pants on and a
Oh,
little hat.
a
Yes.
satyr wearing pants.
Yep.
Oh, that's interesting.
He has just the pants, no shirt, and he has a small a straw hat on, much like the one you made for Oenir. And
Which reminds me, I'm gonna play this as well. Yeah, so I'm just gonna wait till he hails me, and I'm just gonna listen to what language he speaks. Hopefully, I know it.
as he waves you down, he's confused looking and speaks at you in Sindarin at first.
Sindarin, I don't speak it, but I do hear him talking, and then I turn to him, and then he can see I have a cloth covering the front of my face, which is like kind of like the universal symbol for this person is blind.
He'll switch from Sindarin and go into Dazaze and say,
Oh, okay. I understand. Responding kind. I suppose. What does he say?
he says, "Who are you and what are you doing around here touching my plants?
Who am I and where am I from? So you cut out a little bit.
Who are you and why are you around here touching on my plants?"
In my character's voice, I'm going to say, I am Dar. I am a farmer. And I'm going to extend my hand for a handshake. This will take some time. So if he's an impatient person,
Now he just shakes your hand as long as it takes. He's just looking very awkward. A farmer, you say? You follow Valex?
I follow my own path, and I follow my heart, and just kind of smile through my, and like lift up my hood and kind of drape it over one of my tusks so he can see me smiling. And while he's looking at that, I would like to cast aura readings. And since I'm currently looking through my staff, would I be seeing it from my staff, I guess, or from a tree next to me? No, I'm touching trees. So from a tree next to me. Would I be using aura readings from the tree next to me? Or would I be using it from my face?
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll go with that, from the tree next.
So, I mumble something in Thraxler, and an eye of wood opens on the tree. Could I make an insight roll, please, Flametender?
Yes, go ahead.
Hopefully. Also, would you like me to roll Guile? As I'm attempting to not... As he doesn't know that I'm casting a spell and just a crazy old tree person.
No, he doesn't have any knowledge of magic or anything like that. There's no need to try to deceive him. He wouldn't know what you're doing anyways.
Alright, so with Enlightenment, that's a 2 and a 4, plus 5, plus my Forte, which I get from doing that. Yeah, so I read his aura with a 16.
All right, you can sense that his soul's not particularly damaged in any way, and that his emotions are, he is seemingly quite annoyed by you being here on the surface level, and like the deeper you go, he's very confused, like, who is this person? What are they doing here? Type feeling, like no idea. Like,
Did one of my
what
trees
are
get up and
you?
walk away? Yeah, what are you? Yeah.
You know, he's very very confused, very annoyed. So
Is he? Is he like have like he has no magical ability? So he worships
no,
Flex. He's not a clergy of Flex.
yes,
Okay, right. Um, I am going to attempt to uh, speak to him about farming to help him to basically integrate myself into him, like, congratulate him on, oh, there's good soil here, you've chosen a good place, and I see you're having a problem with your with space, with the trees that are encroaching. um, just try to, you know farmer speak to him to assimilate myself. Would this be me
give me
rolling enlightenment?
you give me a farmer plus growing plants, but using your presence modifier instead of enlightenment.
Okay, right. So this means I'm getting a -3, but +7, so a +4 to it.
As
Suppression.
essentially,
It's a,
um,
it's a, it's 12.
all right. He seems to respect your knowledge. You don't really make a good impression on him. He respects the fact that you understand what you're talking about, but he's not like, oh, this guy, like we share such common interest type thing. But he
Mm.
does respect that you know what you're talking about. And as you talk to him and, compliment the farm and comment on the trees, he's like, you know what you're talking about, I see. So, any chance you
I'm,
might be able to help with the trees?
I used to grow trees. That was what I found. I should be able to work with your workers to clear more land. And like he like, it's like I like he kinds of like uh plays with his Tuscarora as like he's thinking, and he's like, uh, uh by the way, I am a herald of Rockbeak, the new leader of the enforcers. Kind of name drop Rockbeak there.
Well, I'll tell
I'm
you what, if the boss sent you, why don't you get to work in them fields and start looking around and seeing what you can do?
mm, I'm gonna tip my straw hat to him and head off towards the tree line where the people are working. With the people working, are there any, like, they're mostly Freyan, Sakers, Ogres?
Yeah.
Okay. No orcs, damn it. So he's just gonna head on up to it. The trees are, again, touching all the different bushes and flowers, kind of getting a feel for all the individual vegetation around. Um, Feeling like, like getting to know the place a bit. Because every plant's different. Um, and he's going to eventually get to the tree line and uh, wave at somebody who is. So, what sort of tools are these? Do they have axes?
Yes, they have axes. They are actually equipped with iron axes.
Okay, so axes kind of make Dar shudder a little bit. Because, yeah, axes have bad memories for this guy.
These are the
But
only axes you've seen on the entire island, though.
yeah,
For ref-
yeah, iron axes too. So, to be perfectly honest, it's probably like using them on trees like this. Probably it's better to use them for war, but anyway. So he just kind of like trundles up to one of the trees that they're hacking, and kind of waves at the guy to stop, and then just puts his hand on the tree and ascenses it. None of them are oaks, right? Double checking.
no, none of them
Okay,
are
thank
oak.
fuck. Thank fuck. Oh, and any of the stuff that they're growing, are there any cherries or peaches
No.
specifically? Okay, good. That's good as well. Those are equal. I will not touch those. So he kind of like touches a tree, and it's like one of the palm trees, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he just tries to get a feel for the texture as he's touching it, as well as just look around and just feel everything with what's going on. He's going to use another part of his ability. I can see and experience things from the past 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So how long has he been working on this tree?
He's been working on it for at least the last 24 hours, at least.
Oh, God. All right. So he's gonna
He's about halfway through, roughly.
halfway through. All right. Hmm. Could I make a farmer roll perhaps, or maybe like a carpentry roll, to see how this could have been done faster and more efficiently?
Sure. Go ahead and I guess you can take your pick of which one you want to roll. Outdoorsman could also be applicable to the situation.
I do also have outdoorsman land plants for that. I think I'll just use carpentry because I've got a +7.
All right.
Hold on, let me find a flat surface to roll on. Oh, 6 and a 7. Sick. That's going to be a 21.
Ooh. You can tell that these trees they're tough enough that their bark is thick and hard enough that somehow you're not sure how this happened, but they are able to resist blows from iron axes. The only way you could conceivably speed this up is with steel, but that is unlikely to happen.
Could I perhaps poison the trees? If I bored a hole and placed some poison into the heart of the tree, how long would it take a tree like this to die? To make it easier to cut down?
It would depend on the poison that you can acquire, but you are confident that you could indeed poison them. You just need the time to gather the ingredients. But you yourself don't know how to craft poison.
That was never my forte.
The best you could do is maybe grab some poison berries and shove it down there and hope for the best. But you don't actually know how to form a genuine toxin or anything like that. But you think that if given the proper equipment, you could understand how to poison a tree. Like you would know where to put the poison and what poison will work the best. You just don't know how to make the poison.
I also know that an oak tree changes the soil around it. IRL, it actually changes the pH level, and kills off all the trees around it. With this tree, how deep do the roots go? Is it quicker to just cut the roots and try to let it die, or is the root system too extensive and too deep down?
It would take some digging, but you could probably cut all the roots out a lot quicker than it would take to cut the tree down.
I'm going to pass this information on to the Freyans in Dazazian, and kind of say dig down, and cut the roots.
They'll take note of that, and they'll start switching out axes or shovels and start trying to dig. They seem eager to try anything you say because they're getting tired of this. You can tell they've been at it for a while.
Yeah, I can look at the past 24 hours, and they've all been here for 24 hours. That's dedication.
And then you would also, something that would cross Daw's mind would be, he remembers something about those slugs in the swamp knowing how to work this wood. So there must be a way to work the wood that he doesn't know. He isn't experienced enough with it to understand, but he knows there has to be some way to work this wood if they were able to work it.
He kind of like.
And go ahead.
Uh, he's also going to, I guess, walk around to people in the area and it's like double check what it's like. What are they putting? Like, how are they helping the plants grow? Because if they're not doing much, he's going to suggest emptying out the middies and the long drops underneath all the trees, because manure helps trees grow. And also with the trees that they're chipping, after that, putting like wood flecks over the piles. After he makes an outdoorsman to see if that would poison the trees, but like basically hold the moisture into the soil. Means they don't have to go for as many trips to fill up moisture, and the trees retain more moisture and hold up more.
And they will take his advice, as they have been doing, particularly with the clearing the trees, they have been having a bunch of problems. But he can tell that for the most part, they are doing everything within their power to make sure the crops grow appropriately. They're just having a lot of trouble clearing the trees. But anything he can offer as far as clearing the trees go, they will take him wholeheartedly on that.
Yeah, so they're weeding at everything, which is good. So he's just like kind of like befuddled by these ridiculous iron bark trees. And the idea's going to spring to mind. Save as much of like the wood from these things and from the bark from these things as you can, because you can make these into weapons if they can withstand iron, making them into a shield. And he kind of like lets that idea sink into whoever's around.
Yeah, and they're going to start collecting the wood and whatnot as well.
All right, so he's done everything he can. And he's going to he's going to sit down, have a break, maybe have a bite to eat. And then he's going to start the trek back into the village.
And with that, we'll switch back over to Relia, who is going to find Rockbeak after a brawl erupted in the streets. Rockbeak, what were you doing right after we went into your beautiful flashback and you began to leave? Where were you headed?
He was headed out into the streets to survey what's going on and everything, and I guess he'll run into Relia on his way out.
Rockby, there seems to have been a problem.
Oh, already? That didn't take too long at all.
And you certainly start to hear about the ruckus as Ellie says this outside.
My words seem to have caused a stir in the people, and I believe that they're trying to kill each other now.
Oh, that's just what we need. I mean, we'll be killing sirens, not killing each other. And I'll just waddle over there towards the commotion.
I'll be walking with you.
You'll walk over and you'll see the ogres brawling, one eating the ear of the other, as described, power bombs through carts and through wagons, and another ogre gets lifted above the head of another ogre, and they just tossed like a rag doll down the street.
I'm gonna yell at him and try to intimidate him, like, "Hey, everybody, stop right now!"
Make an intimidate roll.
Oh shit, I'm in the quick, ain't I? Oh,
Yep.
Yep. So that is a minus what?
You do have heart, so.
No, I have hardy, not heart.
Oh.
So a minus 3 or 4 or something.
Well, let me check your health real quick
shit.
for you. That is
Technical difficulties.
You have a -3.
Okay. So that's a 12.
All right, you scream at Beast Rockbeak is, and as before, and in his past, and as is his custom, the ogres cower before the small Chthon. He screams out at them. The ogre slayer, the iron-shelled Rockbeak, stands in the street before them, and they all freeze and stare.
Are you big oafs giving problems to my friend over here?
Like one of them helps another one up. He just powerbomb through a wagon and like brushes the splinters off of them and stuff like that. And the other one takes an ear out of his mouth and like tries to put it back onto one side of his head. And then like one of them says, like no boss, we ain't done nothing. We were just practicing, so.
Sure. This is General Relia, okay? You listen to her as if you're listening to me. We ain't the enemy. We ain't fighting each other. We're out there. We're gonna fight the sirens when they come back. So you eat them and you throw them through stuff. You don't kill each other. She's gonna try to whip you into an actual army.
They all look ashamed and hang their heads.
So buck up. Harness that anger and rage, and we're gonna kill some sirens when they come. But you gotta be good enough to do it. You can't just run in there throwing rocks at them and grab them and tear them apart. I mean, probably dead before you get close to them. You gotta have strategy. That's what she's here for, strategy. So, I don't want to hear no more ruckus.
I look at Rockbeak. I kind of tilt my head to the side a little bit when he says teach them strategy. So I look at you a little awkwardly.
What? Something on my face? Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm afraid I don't know much about strategy.
Hey, you're a fighter though, weren't you?
Well,
I look away a little and
I suppose I was, but it was against my will. I never really caught on to the more delicate details of warfare.
They made you fight against your will? Were you a gladiator?
No, I was conscripted.
Oh. Hey, I'm sure you put the pointers up. I mean, probably better than anybody else on the island so far, so anything you can do to get them into fighting shape would be appreciated. Maybe they won't die as they charge in the boat.
To be honest with you, all I could really do is help them maybe teach them a few things about sword fighting. That's really it.
Rockbeak could just look at the ogres. You fellas use swords, what do you use?
I was like, we use whatever you give us, boss. We will we'll crack skulls and slam bodies and swing clubs.
Alright, yeah. Yeah, I guess you ogres, yeah, you be using the clubs and whatnot to smash them. And then smaller ones, I guess, can be using swords. So the smaller ones can be trained by Aurelia. I mean, they're small like you and fast and whatnot.
kind of look down at myself a little, like I examine myself as he says small, as you know, as a train. It's a very strange to be said that about, but like if I had these ogres around me, it makes sense. But I just
You notice Rockbeak says a lot of people are small, even though he's only 5 foot. I mean, just do your best over here. I mean, I don't see no ogres doing around twirling swords around and whatnot. So we'll probably just get them a big old hunk of iron or something, maybe a rock and throw at them or something. We'll figure that out. But you can work the other ones.
What will you be doing?
Well, I'm gonna take the ogres over there, and we're gonna find them something to put in their hands they can beat people with. So just keep at it. And then when Oenir and Kel come back, and then we'll really start going. I gotta go back and talk with some more with that best person or whatever her name is. Gotta have more strategy around here, get something going. But yeah, I trust you. You do good.
Thank you for your words of wisdom and your clarity you have bestowed upon the others.
Yeah, but if they get out of line again, just smack them in the mouth. I mean, they're not slaves. Don't beat them, but by the gods, I mean, show them that you're in charge here. Show them some respect. You hear me? You show her respect. All right. Let's go, ogres.
They all fall in line behind Rockbeak, and one of them calls out to him. He's like, "Hey, boss, we're real good with slings. You said something about big rocks. You give us some rocks and some cloth, and we'll make some ogre slings, and we'll bombard them with boulders."
Yeah, there we go. Get some archers in there. Have some range support. That sounds good. All right. Let's go find you some nice big boulders you can put in your slings, and then we'll find some cloth or something, some leather, and we'll make you some slings. That's what you do. All right.
Yeah, ogre slings, just like back in the homeland.
All right. Well, half of you start finding rocks, suitable for ogre slings. We need a bunch of them, and the other ones will start making the slings. All right. Sound good?
They all like nod and disperse off.
All right. I guess Robbie go waddle back to his throne. It's hurting him even to move, but he's gonna waddle back over there.
And what's Relia gonna do now that Rockbeak has handled the ogres?
I'll try to gather up anyone who wants to learn the ways of the sword, and I'll try to teach them best I can.
All right, the Frayne women do take to you respectfully, knowing that you're a warrior from the homeland and whatnot, and they acknowledge you with respect and confidence in your abilities, and listen to you intently as you begin instructing them on the finer techniques and showing them how to wield it properly and how to do it more than just swinging wildly at your enemies, and proper footing and different stances and so on and so forth.
I find myself having to teach by example, I imagine, because no matter how hard I try, I can most likely never really truly express what I'm trying to say, but my skill speaks for itself, so I have to start teaching, because I'm not entirely sure I can also keep their attention for very long with how I can't hold a conversation for anyone pretty much at all without them getting bored or something like that, so I don't carry myself very well. So I just teach by example most that I can, and I avoid speaking as much as possible.
And they will pay attention to you as they're commanded to do so by Rockbeak, the Iron Shield. And it doesn't matter if you're boring; it matters that you're their instructor and that they better learn what you're telling them, lest Rockbeak come back around. And nobody wants to see Rockbeak come back down for a second time. So people are listening to what you have to say, whether they like it or not. And they are learning and progressing just as those farmers are heeding Daw's words. Rockbeak has earned a reputation across the island as the Ogre Slayer and the Iron Shield, and he is one who is not to be messed with. This Rockbeak returns to his throne of stone and sits down once again. He will feel a hand on his shell from behind.
Oh, who's that? Can't be sneaking up on me like that.
You will turn to see a woman. She has pale blue skin, flame red eyes and hair, and long pointed ears with long wings that looked as if they were carved from etched fire. And they have a passing resemblance to a Frayne, but look slightly alien all the same, still carrying that same elegance and beauty that Frayne carry with them. But you've been around enough Frayne to know she's something different. This is not a Frayne. And she places her hand on you, looks at you. She has a seething rage in her eyes, and they look very sharp and angry and militant. And she doesn't look angry at you, though. It looks like a suppressed rage. She speaks to you in Thuban. Rockbeak, I saw what you did. I saw what you did to Arwood. I see what you're doing on the island.
Uh, uh, yeah, yeah. Probably just slack-jawed.
And she just kind of looks at you, like almost waiting for a response, and then
Yeah. It's all for you. Reshira, it's all for you. And just like bowing to her. He just stands up in this throne. It's so huge. He starts bowing and like on the ground and like groveling. He's like praising her.
she looks at your throne and opens her mouth, and from her mouth, fire pours out and disintegrates the stone all around you. It literally just turns it to dust as she breathes
Fall
the
on the
fire
ground.
on it. But the fire goes around you and it doesn't harm you as the stone is just destroyed. The throne is just annihilated. But this righteous flame,
Fall onto the ground with a thunk. Like, yeah, that's probably for the best. Just a big overgrown chair.
there is no throne on this island, for there are no kings here, for all are free men. None will rule over the other. You will have the blessing of the revolutionary princess.
Thank you. A thousand thank yous. Well, we still got the sirens to deal with, but at least the people are free. And if they're gonna die free. But they're gonna fight for their freedom even more.
She pokes you on the beak, and you feel inspired. You don't really know how to express it, but you feel something well in your heart. Go speak to your people. They look to you. You, a philosopher warrior, must become. Torgon no more. You are Rockbeak, the Iron Shelled now, reborn through Reshira's grace.
I will, my lady. I'll do it all in your grace.
And she looks you over. I'm going to return to you. Our Lady has sent me to watch over this island. I was looking for the right time. I spoke to you through Relia, the Freyim. I tried to be subtle, but you didn't take the hint, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm kind of hard-headed. I'm sorry about that.
I decided not to be so subtle anymore, but I can't afford something like this again. The Thunderbirds will know I'm here, and I don't want to draw unnecessary ire on your people. I'll return again before your battle, and when I return, that inspiration in your heart that you feel now will return with me, and you'll use it, and you'll lead those people, and you'll secure their freedom.
I will do so. I will do so in the name of Reshira. All in her grace. No shackles, no more.
And no generals, no councils, and no kings. There is no command. There is no chain of command. There is none of this. You are each your own.
Yeah, I was getting to that. We're all our own.
You shall inspire free thought amongst your people. You shall inspire them with philosophies, and you shall learn to read and write. You have
He kind of looks away. He kind of looks embarrassed when she says that.
their attention. Don't squander it. They look to you for
I won't.
inspiration, and you must inspire them.
It will be done. They'll be so inspired. He just
She's
bowed
kinda-
to her again.
She nods to you.
Oh yeah, I better get going now then, I guess. Guess he starts waddling off. I'll turn his back to her though.
You may call me Shidi.
Of course, you could call me Rock. Oh, you already know my name. Yeah, that's silly. Yes. I'll praise the Rishra.
She, as you say that, she cracks a small smile at you. Praise to the revolutionary princess.
Change no more. And Rugby runs out. He waddles out outside.
You just hear her voice echo, like it wasn't echoing before, but as you run out, it echoes, and it sounds like it echoes through the streets as she echoes your call, chains no more. And then Relia will hear it too,
screaming.
as she hears that too, chains no more, in her ears, and Dahl will hear it as well as it echoes through the streets, as everyone in the village will hear the cry of chains no more echo through the streets. It is in Tharaxa, actually, for you. It is in the language native to each of you. Each of you hear it in your native tongue. Sorry, but I can't hear you. Is there any way you could put your mic closer?
He's gonna leg it back.
All right. And what will Relia do?
I'll turn my head to where I think the voice might have been coming from, and sort of just stand in that stand still, like I guess I'm in the middle of training right now, of
Yes.
teaching. I'll just kind of turn my head towards the voice and just kind of stare for a little. That's where I came from. Kind of mull around in my mind of where, if I've ever heard that voice before or anything like it. Thinking about it.
Rock people go out into the streets and start screaming in every language he knows. Like, everyone gather round, gather round.
The village quickly gathers to Rockbeak's rallying call as
I gather too.
Daw just arrives back in time to hear Rockbeak calling everyone to gather into the village square.
Listen, everyone. This island is free and liberated. No one serves no one here. There's no kings, there's no generals, there's no sheriff. Everyone's free to do as you want. Now, if you be wanting to get off the island, then we should work together to make sure the sirens get sent straight to the hells where they belong. But you ain't got to. You can do whatever you want. But if you be wanting freedom from this island, like you were free from the chains, then we should all work together. Training, getting supplies, helping the sick, so that when the sirens come, we'll be ready for them. Chains no more!
Make a diplomacy roll, but with a +3 to your total roll, and ignoring your penalty from the quick.
That's horrible. I failed horribly.
All right, you
Actually, it's a one more than that. I forgot to add a one, but still.
All right, you call out, and the call is echoed by some. Not everyone quite rallies to your call, but there are those among them who will rally to you. And they will echo that call, and it does begin to become infectious to some extent. What would Daw and Relia do at Rockbeak calling this out?
Well, I'm not there yet. I'm in town. It takes a while. If I hear specifically Rockbeak calling that out, I'll look around awkwardly if they've called it out myself. This takes some time.
And what would Relia do?
I'll be in the crowd of the people looking upon Rockbeak, and while a few around me might share his call, I just look up at him, looking that even though his words may have fell flat on others, I see his meaning, I see his passion, and I slowly nod in agreement without saying anything.
And then with that, we shall go into our soliloquies as we wrap